Well, that's weird, because now it's saying it's not letting me watch on either here or on here, even though I logged out on one device and I'm logged in on another. Says that it might be 2 minutes before I can watch, and right now it's 4:22. So and at 4:22 it's
youth passes with one's intelligence hijacked by the hormones.
Oh, okay. So
Old
yeah,
age.
this is probably
People are simply
a
worried.
death threat. So I'm going to
They don't need much excuse.
give my
They can simply
commentary.
worry about anything. Of course, many people have reached that place when they're pretty young. They're carrying their age from somewhere else. So at every stage in life, there is some concern. About some petty thing. It doesn't matter what it is. What are petty things? What are important things? Everything in life is petty.
Yes. Yes, there is a death threat in this video. Mm-hmm.
So this is the whole problem. There are people
I was watching
who think
this
nothing is worthwhile and they don't pay attention or show involvement towards anything.
And
or there are people
really
who are taking every little thing so seriously that they're dying to live.
Fending off directed energy weapon attacks.
To be able to see that everything that we are involved in is just a small matter.
I've survived.
Right, compared to
and the attacks
what this is.
Are starting to get more and more
but still,
obvious.
Even in those little things, you are able to give yourself absolutely.
To kill me.
You are able to involve yourself absolutely.
With whatever means.
It is because of this seeming contradiction that spiritual process seems to be a struggle for people. Because with one's logical mind, you can perceive something as important or not important. You make a conclusion. This is important means you pay attention. This is not important means you cannot pay attention. Nothing is important, but still to pay absolute attention doesn't make logical sense.
Almost
but that is
15
where
minutes.
The juice of life is. That you are willing to pay attention to all the nonsensical, unimportant things, which is whole life.
Well, I mean, it's important to survive and live.
So, why this is so? Or why should I pay attention to unimportant things? Let me pay attention to God. Let me pay attention to how to pave my way to my enlightenment. Or how to go to heaven.
Well, that's how his wife died, Viji.
You are going to slowly turn into a hell.
Is this a curse?
This is not my curse. This is a natural progression of things. Everybody knows if you walk off the terrace, you will go only down. It's not a prediction, nor is it a curse. That's the way it works.
Not quite sure what he's talking about.
If you do not learn how to hold everything at an arm's distance, but still be absolutely involved with it, you will not hit the juice. You will hit only the peel. If you make it too important in your mind, you will get entangled in it. If you think it's not important and disregard it, you will bypass life. Bypassing life
It's supposed to be about the power of attention.
is
Now
wasting even the birth pangs of your mother, isn't it?
Now it's talking about birth.
Somebody goes through the pain because they believe that you are going to live. No? They believe you're going to live. That's why all the nonsense about you. If you're planning to bypass life,
Still trying to figure out how this has to do with the
I don't see
power of
why.
attention.
every time you inhale and exhale, 1 million bacteria are dying. I don't see why those little creatures who want to live should die for you. They need not die for you. If you want to live, it's all right. Something dies for you. You don't want to live. Why should any other creature die for you? It's such a waste. Now, yes, I want to live. And everything becomes important. And everything becomes entanglement.
Well, yeah, that's why I've been defending against directed energy weapons.
We are going at you from day one. I don't know if you remember. When you came to the introductory, that free introductory program. Don't forget, that day was free. You never knew that it'll cost you life.
Well, I mean, there
But
are
that day
a
was
lot of free inner engineering.
That free introductory talk, there itself we told you. The experiential dimension of life and the logical dimension of life are diametrically opposite to each other. You just have to, every moment, be aware of that. Otherwise, your logic, which should be of assistance to you, will work against you. Logic cuts everything. If you keep cutting, you will be standing on a tiny bit of this existence. After some time, even that you will not have to stand.
Well, it's kind of like
Extreme
breathing.
logic, moments of extreme logic, either leads to madness or suicide.
I don't think that breathing
At the
and
same
logic
time, if you do not have logic,
have to stop in
it will
order
lead
to
to a
prevent
different kind of insanity.
madness and
So is this some kind of a trick? This is not a trick. This is a beautiful composition. It is just that if you have attached yourself to crude logic, it looks like a trick. This is a fabulous composition. Everything one inside the other, one inside the other. The tree holds the flower, the tree holds the fruit, the tree holds the seed, everything within the tree. No.
Talking about life and
This is
death.
a tree. Where are the fruits?
And then it's
No, it is in the
logic.
tree. If you take care of it, it'll come. No. I want the fruits separately. Life doesn't happen like that.
And also talks about like curses and like costing.
Within your
life.
ignorance is also your enlightenment.
Just like a cult. I don't know.
But no, you want to separate it.
Called Sadhguru
It's not going to work.
Exclusive.
So,
Like this
entanglement
Netflix for
is simply because at every stage in life, people are attaching importance and significance to something or the other.
all right, and now on to attachment.
Except the most significant aspect of life, which is life itself. When I say life itself,
So you have to not be involved in anything.
you being alive is not important in your life.
But
What
I
you're
think
doing
that
is important, isn't it?
everything you're involved in is part of life.
What do you do? People ask.
And
You
logic,
say, I just live.
logic is part of life.
They think
too.
you're partying every day. Partying is also doing. No, I don't do anything, I just live. No. Nobody can conceive that. Because somewhere in the logical mind, life is not important. Everything else is important.
To have life.
But everything else has come into the picture only because life is.
And sometimes in order to
But
survive,
because it's such an obvious thing,
you have to do research and...
That's not important. What I'm doing right now is important. I'm alive right now. That's not important.
And defense.
Only when we point a gun at your head, you realize it's very important.
So if directed energy weapons...
Only then. Only when life is under threat,
kill you,
suddenly you realize it's important. 2 minutes if I give you, again you'll be busy with something.
With life?
Have you noticed this?
I mean, being busy
Someone
with
died around you.
Is being busy with life.
You looked at it and thought, this is all life is. What's the point? All this rubbish, what I'm doing?
I don't think
the moment you set fire,
guns and
already you're busy. Your cell phone is ringing and
death
you have to be going somewhere else. You're busy. The next chakra is on.
Life, and
the next scene is on already.
You need
just
to
a little break.
Stop being
when death
involved
knocks on your door.
In
just a little break.
Everything.
Next moment you're on.
In order to live life.
Someone I know very well, about 14, 15 months ago, they had a heart attack. Did not die. Not very old. Anybody younger than me, I consider them not very old. People much older than me, I consider them little old. So, had a massive heart attack, and at that moment, definitely you thought you were going to die. Survived, came out. Then so many silly things that they were doing in their life, they said, no, this is it. What a waste of life I'm doing. What am I doing with myself? Such a waste. This is it. I'm going to really focus on the most profound aspect of my life, which is knowing what this life is about. I said, this is great realization, but
But don't you have to do life in order to know life?
For the realization to stick,
I don't think anyone knows that.
Every moment of your life, for it to stick, it takes something else. At a certain moment, everybody realizes. And I met this person after about 4 months, again in the same chakra.
And how does this have anything to do with
I just smiled. He was very worried and busy and very, very worried about small things that were happening or not happening around him. I just smiled at him and, I have a horrible smile. I can smile at people in such a way that
So basically, everyone has to follow
he told me 4 months ago that he is not going
your version of the meaning of life.
He's going to pay attention to the most important thing in his life.
But the meaning of life is not something that anyone can describe in words.
It is just another mild heart attack.
Is this like a threat?
You're not listening to your heartbeat. That's the whole problem. If you listen to your heartbeat, you would know how fragile it is.
And is this a threat?
If you watch your breath, you would know how fragile it is. In, out, in, out, in, out. It's very fragile life. You're not observing the nature of this life. You're too full of yourself.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
If you observe the nature of this life,
the thing about the COVID pandemic, it's all about lack of oxygen, but if everyone could have it, but if the people who are making this pandemic happen,
we should do a dissection of a frog or one of you maybe.
Could get a taste of their own medicine.
And show how fragile it is. The heart boo-boop, 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 boo-boop is going like this. Boo-boop. Over. It's not made of steel. Yes? Is it made of steel? Titanium? No. This can be just ripped apart. in a moment.
Now that's really exceeding the golden rule.
It's wonderful machinery, but not eternal. Fabulous machine, but not eternal. It's come with an expiry date.
Is this why people are dying of lack of oxygen?
And that expiry date, you can advance it. The more irresponsibly you conduct yourself,
all sorts
the
of
sooner it is. It is not a fixed expiry date.
Is this why I'm
in your horoscope they say you're going to live for 90 years, you may fall dead tomorrow.
Is this why my boss, Matt Chambers, died of a stroke and gout? Is this why my brother died?
Those stars may be saying you live for 90 years. You may fall dead tomorrow if the local driver decides so.
Alright, so you could die by gun, directed energy
the reason
weapon,
why ignorance
oxygen, and
seems to be so stable,
car crash.
And realization seems to be so fragile.
It's weird because the day after I watched this, I almost got into a rear
end of your own mind, how fickle and fragile it is.
And that concludes the review of this video, which is called Power of Attention on Sadhguru.